I thought I'd make a short video about this. See, that's a good looking truck. And what I want to show you at not so good looking, we're going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of this other one. Even though there's a lot of things about this vehicle I like, I would not buy one. And at the end of the video, I'll give the reasons for that. Tesla lent me this thing for a bit. I've only driven it, well, a couple hours away is where the service center is that I got it from. So I've driven it for a few hours now. So I'll give you my first impressions. The signals are weird. The steering wheel's weird. It turns on a dime. Drives nice. Drives a lot nicer than anything I've driven ever. This is just crazy. Look at this wiper. What is it? It's easy 5 feet long. The front end does catch a lot of bugs. I guess my Ford does as well, but my Ford, they go inside and to the rad and everything else, so you can't really see them, but they're there. So this might be a better thing. Not sure. Kind of like the way that opens. Not a whole lot of room in here, but good place to sit. Not sure how to shut it. Just figured it out. Okay, it doesn't fit in the garage, so I'll bring my electricity out here, and I know that's where it... Yep. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people painting swastikas and stuff on these things, so I thought, well, perfect idea. Bring one home, see if somebody wants to try to paint a swastika on it. Now, I'm just figuring this thing out myself. I do know how to do some things. I know how to make this open. Now, see, when that was closed, your rear view mirror is useless. So they put another rear view mirror comes up on the screen. Now, what do we got in here? Got a storage compartment down there. Okay, little door in the side. You know what's in there already, probably. 120 volt, 120 volt, 220. I guess you could plug like a table saw, welder, or whatever. And apparently these things will run your house for, I don't know, days, 3 or 4 days, I think. And this is your rear camera. What they should do is they should put a squirter on it to clean it, because, I mean, they get dirty fast. What's in the back? See, all Teslas, I think all of them do this. The window slightly unrolls because there's no actual window frame. So every time you open it, the window will slightly unroll. There's a ton of room. The seats fold up and you could have a party, you could dance in there. And then there's also a computer screen on the inside back here that you can do much of what you can do on the front screen. Now, as far as cameras, they're pretty much the same as all Teslas. So, I don't know. The people that vandalize these are really, really not very smart, because there's cameras watching you everywhere. There's one here. One up in the front fender here. Right there. There's the one on the back that I already showed. I just noticed this one. There's one down here, I guess maybe for, I don't know what for. 4-wheel driving maybe? I don't know. And then I believe there's 3 more up at the top of the windshield. I know my car has 3 up there. So cameras everywhere watching you. Every time you're near one of these, you're being watched. Now, as far as the inside goes, I would probably stay away from the white interior myself. The steering wheel's funny, but it only turns like, I don't know, half or 3/4 of a turn, and that's as sharp as the truck will turn. But that is still way sharper than any other gas vehicle or diesel, whatever. Now, I don't know what a lot of the buttons do. I just press them and see what happens usually. A lot of times nothing happens, so I don't know what's happening, but it's funny, these are your signals. There's your right and there's your left. Over here you got your washer wiper, you got your I don't know, and your talk to the truck to make it do things button. Now, some of these things, I've got it charging right now, so this whole screen is about charging. Automatically provides power to your home during a power outage. Kind of cool. And then you have all these different things, and in each one of those things, you have a bunch of things. So there's like way too many things. And then there's more things down here. And my Tesla doesn't take nowhere near this long. This has a huge battery, I guess. So it's charging at 32 amps, 230 volts. But I think it's a huge battery compared to mine, so it takes a lot longer. That tiny camera there actually watches you when you put it, only when you put it in self-driving. It will watch you to make sure you don't fall asleep. Those are the cordless phone chargers there. This has your ride height adjustments and everything. It has the air suspension, so it goes up and down. And for the glove box, you can open it on the screen, or you can just do it by voice command, but it kind of slides out like a tray thing. So the things I'd change right off the bat would be the steering wheel. I would kind of like a round steering wheel. I've been driving for over 40 years with a round steering wheel. Now you throw this airplane steering wheel at me and it's kind of a little bit uncomfortable. And same as the signals. Put the signals back on a stock where they belong, because it's already ingrained into my brain to push down to go left and push up to go right, not search around on the steering wheel for some tiny little arrow. Otherwise, it doesn't really drive like a truck. It drives like a fast car. I've seen videos where people have complained about, you know, all this and saying that the visibility's bad. No, the visibility's better than any other vehicle, because you also have the cameras, and once you figure that out and you just take a glance at the camera, you know exactly what's beside you and where. You don't have a blind spot, because as soon as you put the signal on, you can see all down the side of the car. And there's a red light inside that will come on if somebody's, like a lot of cars have, if somebody's anywhere, motorcycle or anything beside you, a red light will come on. The full self-driving seems a lot better in this one. It'll drives fine without you. And even so, I drove a 2025, a brand new Model 3 as well today, and the self-driving seemed really good in it, so I imagine they're just the same. Okay, so these tires look kind of huge. They're 285 65 R20. Now that's meaningless to me. I'm gonna just check one other thing here. Thirty-four inches tall. And they're Pirellis, so I imagine not cheap to replace them. Obviously you would replace them with something other than Pirelli most likely, but with that size of tire they definitely wouldn't be cheap. Something else I couldn't help but notice, and there's always going to be fingerprints on here, but I'm not sure why, because you press the button and you open the door. So I don't know, kind of seems simple and straightforward to me. Another thing I've heard is that this piece here, this boomerang, I've heard it's actually just glued on. I don't know, it's only a problem if it falls off, I guess. Now, I've also heard people talk about the snow getting on the bumper and blocking the headlights. That I can see being a problem where I live. I mean, it's a problem for my other vehicles even, because the snow sticks to the front end. So, but this, I would say more so of a problem maybe. I don't know. I'd like to try one in the winter time. Although I would admit it's ugly, but it kind of grows on you. Maybe like a wart or something. I don't know. No, it looks better to me now than at first, or even when I've seen it on videos and whatnot. In person, it's a little bit different. I would love to actually see if it can do truck things, but it's not mine, so I can't do that. However, I've seen them on videos where they show them getting stuck and whatnot. 9 times out of 10, you can attribute that to the person driving doesn't know what they're doing. First of all, they don't know the settings. Even on my Model 3 in the winter, if you don't have it set in the right settings, well, it won't go anywhere. It'll be lousy in the snow. Put the settings right, and my Model 3 goes better than most 4-wheel drives. I've never had a 4-wheel drive be able to go as fast as I can down the road in the snow. You know, I see these things getting stuck and looking bad in the winter. I can always tell that they have the settings not set right. They'll have the traction control on. That's when you can see one wheel will stop spinning and the other will start spinning. The other one stops spinning. Well, you don't have it set that way, and that's not the way my Model 3. My Model 3 wouldn't go good like that either. I think this thing would be perfectly capable in the wintertime, as my Model 3 is. I have a 1-ton Ford 4-wheel drive diesel, and I have a Toyota Tacoma. Well, in the wintertime, I'll take my Model 3 any day of the week. Looks like I'm going to have to bring it back. It doesn't fit in my garage. To give you an idea of what this is like, it's like sitting in the cockpit of an F-18. Back when I was learning to fly those F-18s, it looked much the same. Oh, and at the steering wheel looked the same too. Oh, and even the blinkers, same as on the F-18. What is that thing? Oh, cool.
It's like an extra visor.
Extra visor and a light. Yeah.
Wait, see now they use it to.
That's
because these are so small.
Yeah, it's this technology. High tech.
It's kind of high tech, yeah.
Okay, how do I make the wipers work? Oh, there's a button here. The wiper. Oh, how do I make it wash?
There's fluid. Where does the fluid come out? Oh, it's coming out in a bunch of different areas all along the...
Yeah. All right, we're off. Off to return this thing.
You gotta put defog on. Look at the windows fogging up.
The massive windows fogging up.
You can set your chair up more, dear.
Oh, it goes up as well. Cool. Wish I would have figured that one out yesterday. Filming into the sun. You can probably see on the camera about as good as I can.
Was the window defogged quickly? Oh, maybe not. Look at the rear view. It's weird.
Yeah, rear view mirror.
Those tires pick up mud.
So this is the view I get, pretty much.
Now, I don't know how someone would go about cleaning this window because the dash is about, 4 feet long anyways. So you gotta probably climb up on the dash? I don't know. It's very quiet. Even like for as far as road noise and whatnot, you don't hear anything. Bit of a whine, kind of like a jet.
It's louder outside.
I love the steering. I'm not so fond of the steering wheel. I could live with the steering wheel if it had stalks and signals.
Everybody's staring. Sorry, I swore.
There's a big lake.
I should just say the first time I seen one of these was only about a month ago. There's still very few and far between. You don't see them often where I am. Now, there's a lot of things I liked about this thing, but also a lot of things I didn't like. For a lot of people, this would be an awesome vehicle, but for my needs, it just wouldn't work. I have to tow my excavator sometimes long distances. Well, it wouldn't work for that. I have a camper that I put on my truck, and it wouldn't work for that as well. That huge windshield wouldn't be so great after a couple of years of rock chips, which happen very frequently where I am. The price would be another thing to consider. I guess it's in line with the price of a lot of other new heavy-duty trucks. That steer-by-wire is incredible. It's giving you the rear wheel steering. It's just totally amazing. The thing just turns in no space at all. You could park it easier in a parking lot than you could park like a Honda Civic. One thing that I wouldn't let happen is I wouldn't let my decision whether to buy a vehicle depend on other people's political views. I don't care what other people think. I don't buy a vehicle for political reasons. I buy it for my reasons. I guess that's why I live in a free country.